Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts.
Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we talk about beating up people from other universes for our own survival. My name is Matt. With me, the god of destruction himself, Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
God of Destruction, that's a new one. I'm doing great. Destruction of my own finances because I buy too much shit, yes.
Destruction of your youth, since you just had a birthday. You are now in the 30 club.
Yeah, now I have an excuse for why I feel like shit every morning and everything hurts.
For real. It's too funny.
Yeah, the
So yeah,
big
it's been a
3
couple. Oh yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we did our last recording. We took last weekend off because you had a lot of birthday stuff going on. Well, what's been up? What's new? How are you doing?
Trying to get through the the beginning of 2025. It's already
Yeah.
off to a great start. Um,
Mm.
the world's burning literally right now. There's like snowmageddon going on in different places.
Yeah, right. I guess a bunch of celebrity mansions are burning down over in LA right now.
Yeah, and then a bunch of innocent people too. It's like really
Yeah.
just like a
Well, nobody talks about those ones.
well, no, because they're not interesting. It's
Well, I
like
mean, they talk about it generally vaguely, but when
yeah,
if fucking John Goodman's house burns down, it's fucking front page news.
I saw John Goodman, I saw James Woods, I saw a bunch of celebrities, and I was like, wow, glad I don't live
Oh,
there.
Anthony Hopkins, I think too, lost his house.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting here thinking like, New England's not so bad. It's cold as
I find
fuck,
it. Yeah.
but at least we're not on fire. That being
Yeah.
said, though, all jokes aside, like I do hearts out for like the people over there that are
Oh,
dealing
yeah,
with a
for
bunch of
sure.
shit.
For
I know
sure.
we have a bunch of people in the podcast community that do live in Cali. I'm not sure if they're in that area or not. I haven't really heard anything, so I'm
Mhm.
hoping the best. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I just find it interesting that it's people tend to pay a lot more attention when it's celebrities' houses burning down and not like fucking the everyman.
well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting too because this isn't even like when I first heard wildfires in LA. Well, I mean, California, I was like, oh, this happens like every year. Like I'm like, what happened this time? Another gender reveal party disaster. And then I see the actual videos. I'm like, holy, yeah. But then I see like the videos. I'm like, holy fuck, this one's actually pretty bad. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah.
No kidding.
But
But on brighter news, I've started the new year anime uh journey, I guess. As I've mentioned multiple times before, this is going to be my year for watching long shows.
nice.
And I started off by really plowing through a bunch of Bleach because I started it last year and I didn't get super far. So I made a lot of progress this week on Bleach. Almost done with the Iran car arc, like the big
Nice.
one. And one thing I've noticed, while I still believe, I mean, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I am enjoying it. I am having a fun time with Bleach. I still think it is like the weakest complete package out of the big three. Um,
Well, I mean,
but Mhm.
when its competition is Naruto and One Piece, I mean,
Yeah. But that being said, I will say the ratio for amazing anime openings is way higher in Bleach. Like, One Piece has a couple good ones. Naruto has some really iconic bangers. But there's also a bunch of crap in there too. But Bleach, if I at least what I've been hearing has been like knocking out of the park like every time it changes. There's like a
it's
couple
really
that I'm like mid on, but like for the most part, they've been really good.
it's really funny when certain shows just have like some of the best intros. Like we always joke saying Bardo is a fucking mental exercise, but like Bardo has some of the best fucking intros. Like
And outros.
and outro. Well, I still like intro 2 for Naruto, the song Over. The one that's like the weird like doo-wop like swing song. That song is way too good for that show. Like anytime I hear that song, I'm like, why is this so good? And why is it fucking connected to Baruto of all things?
Yeah, I really hope, and I know we've talked about this a bunch of times, but I really do hope that when Boruto ends, that they just go all the way back to the beginning of Naruto and do like a Naruto Kai or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Yeah. Somehow I doubt
Because
that.
it needs
But
it. It needs it. It needs it way more than Dragon Ball Z did.
yeah, the difference is though, Toy Animation has like the time to actually do that. I don't think Studio Parrot does.
I guess so.
I mean, they could barely get. What else are they even working on right now? I don't even know what. I don't know what
Are
they're
they
working
doing Thousand Year Blood War? Because I know they did the original Bleach anime.
on, probably. I mean, we can't get any more Black Clover, so they got to do something.
Is Studio Pierrot doing the Yu Yu Hakusho remake? Because I'm pretty sure they did the original as well.
They did do the original. I have no idea, honestly.
Which actually, come to think of it, now that I've been watching like Bleach like consistently over the past week, I need to look into who composed that because there are like bits of the song of like the background music that sounds very eerily similar to Yu Yu Hakusho. And I do know that the author Tite Kubo of Bleach, he was a huge Yu Yu Hakusho fan, and that was a big inspiration for Bleach. So it wouldn't surprise me if they got the same composer and the same studio to do the anime. That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah. On my front for anime, I have since we did the season ending rundown, I kind of taken a break for like these first couple of weeks because I've been animated out and I needed to do something else. I've been on a manga binge for a little bit. I've pretty much almost like binged all of the physical volumes of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
Very nice.
I got the next volume that just came in like this week, so I still got to read that. But I've binged through that, caught up on Chainsaw Man. I found the new Spy Family early, so I got to read that.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Whole bunch of stuff there. Yeah, just a lot of stuff to catch up on. In manga news, I just saw the announcement that Komi Can't Communicate ends in 3 chapters.
That's crazy.
So that's another one down. That's
so many different mangas and like animes that have been, consistent for a while are ending, and like makes me really wonder what the next like big wave is gonna be.
Well, it's funny because like when Komi came out, it was like part of that big like collection of like rom-com like romance animes. And I think they're all I should say rom-com mangas. I think they're all like ended now, except for like My Dress Up Darling. I think that one's still going.
Well, at least anime wise, that one only has the one season right now. So
I mean, so does Komi, but Komi also has like 32, 35 volumes worth of manga that it can adapt.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure My Dress Up Darling is actually gonna get a season 2. So
yeah. I mean, still waiting on Kaguya-sama to get season 4, but what are we gonna do?
I'd like that as well.
I'm gonna
honestly, I'd like a Komi season 2. I really enjoyed it when I watched
especially because it ends right at the point where it gets fucking interesting. Like that's right when like all the major plot points start happening.
Yeah, and I've still been reading Berserk. I'm on volume 29 out of, as of right now, 41. So I'm making good progress. I think by the time I catch up to where it's at, the new volume will come out. So I don't know exactly how long that's going to take me. It depends on how often we get sales, because if there's a sale and the volumes are going for 5 each on Kindle, I'll get 2 a week. But if they're not, I'm not going to get 2 a week.
So in terms of anime, I did finally get back into watching. I officially started my 2025 list today. Because surprise, surprise, I never actually watched the final episode of Dandadan. I kind of forgot about it. So I watched that today and finished that up. I I'm like 50-50 if I'm going to watch the season 2 of that inevitably happens, because I'm not going to lie, it didn't do much for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about Hell's Paradise.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
also
it was cool at points, and it had some like stellar animation and stuff, but like, and it was definitely very like stylized. But it like, I very much agree with Slade, where it just I didn't have time to care about any of the characters by the time they died, so it was like whatever.
you know what the funniest part is though? When I watched the final episode of Dawn to Dawn, I logged it in a AnyList, the tracking app I use. And what's fun about AnyList is you can see like people who you follow's like their history as well. So when I looked in and saw my Bill watched Dawn to Dawn completed Dawn to Dawn, I looked below it and it was like 3 hours before Slade had also just finished Dawn to Dawn, which leads me to believe he also did not watch it until like just today.
About right.
I don't even think Alex has either. Um, and I'm pretty sure at the end of that episode, you had said you were going to watch it, and I'm assuming you have not.
No, no. I want to just plow through Bleach. My idea, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of long shows this year.
Yeah,
So my idea is I'm gonna do a long show, then watch a few short ones, and then do another long one. You know, like just kind of intersperse the smaller ones in between. So when I finish Bleach, I'll probably watch Dawn to Dawn, and I don't know exactly what, but a couple other ones. I actually, come to think of it, I did already watch my original assignment, Odd Taxi, which I found very, very fun. I was not expecting the twist at the end, and I don't see how they could make it work, but I kind of want to see more. But I feel like the way it ended, like there's just no way to continue it without just kind of backtracking. So
yeah. That being said, though, the main reason I started watching anime today is because a certain other thing came out today.
indeed,
And I watched it after finishing Dawn to Dawn because I had to just get that done, and so I can move on from that. The first dubbed episode of Daima came out today.
indeed, the
And
only one that isn't the normal length for an anime episode.
yeah, and boy was it nothing.
It was mostly recap and character introduction.
Character introductions to a bunch of characters who, at the moment, because they are kind of nothing, I didn't care about. And I was like, okay,
That's fair.
I'm
I
like,
mean, these are like pretty much like the main villain cast.
that's what I
for
assumed.
this.
Unfortunately, they did not do much in the first episode other than just exposition than what's their idea.
We got some beautifully reanimated scenes from
We did.
the Buu Saga, though.
That was pretty cool. I like that. Then we got some old school Goku and Vegeta fighting. Chi-Chi was there. She doesn't do anything, but she was there.
We had to have another hot demon chick for Dragon Ball fans to simp over.
Uh-huh. Well, because Bulma's old and Chi-Chi's Chi-Chi, and they're both children by the end of the episode, so we need something for the fucking weirdos who watch the weirdos who watch Dragon Ball for reasons.
It's funny too because I feel like every time Toriyama like made another like hot demon chick, like they all kind of like look the same. Like we had Toa, and then we had I forget her name, but Beelzebub's sister.
Yeah,
and now we have Aranzu, and they're all very similar looking.
Toriyama has basically admitted that he can only draw like 3 faces, so
Especially for women.
yeah. To be fair, though, that's a problem that a lot of mangakas have, so it's not really.
I've said for years that when it comes to anime and manga, you mostly tell who people are by their hair and their clothes.
Well, that's what makes reading a Rumiko Takahashi manga great, because like all her female characters have like 3 different hairstyles. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They either look like Sango.
That was one thing that I noticed, that Rin and Kagome have the exact same hairstyle.
Yeah, but Rin's got the goofy like hair pigtail thing, so that's how you tell the difference.
Yeah.
Until she becomes an adult and it goes away, and then you just go, great, they're the same character now.
Now they just look exactly the same.
Yes.
So it turns out the type is genetic.
Yes.
But aside from that, we got a little bit of Dragon Ball lore. How did you feel about the random, like, oh look, they're unfused for this totally separate reason?
Um, I mean, it was more creative than in Super, where it just kind of happens off screen and they don't really go into it. So, I
Hmm.
mean, at least there's an explanation that for Toriyama's bizarre logic for a lot of things, it made sense. So,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I thought in Super it was more like kind of BS because it was just kind of like, oh yeah, we're just separate now. Don't question it. It's not that important.
Yeah, I kind of like the way they did it because this is like, I mean, obviously this kind of creates a little bit of a hiccup about like how is this going to connect to Super, because I feel like it's supposed to eventually. Actually, they kind of already hinted to it because at the like towards the end of the episode when Goma and I forget the other guy's name, um, but when they were going to Earth to use the Dragon Balls and they used Warp Sama, which uh, I want your opinion on that in a minute. But they when Warp Sama asks where they want to go, they say Universe 7. So that leads me to believe that this is connected to the Super timeline.
My thought there was either it's connected or it's just an alternate universe that uses the same logic.
Hmm.
Well, an alternate timeline.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it, but they do kind of briefly like mention other universes in a later episode, and they show all the Supreme Kais that we've seen in Super.
True. I mean, we'll have to wait till the how it ends, but like
Mhm.
until we get like official confirmation, it's kind of like the how does like Super connect to End of Z, like where it's still kind of like this doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're just going to kind of like nod our heads and just kind of not think about it too hard.
Well, Super has kind of like the manga has kind of like steered it more towards that direction of that
True.
connective tissue, but
They still the age gaps are still kind of fucked up, but we're just not going to think about it too hard because
age has always been kind of fucked up in Dragon
yeah,
Ball, so you just kind of can't think too hard about that.
it's one of those things where like I have to wait and see because it was interesting watching this and seeing how many things were different. Like I did enjoy like animation wise, they actually took the time to like because Super had some jank animation,
Hmm.
and some character designs that were like really
Meh.
incorrect. Like Krillin's hair always bothered the fuck out of me in Super because it was just like not the same as it was before.
Yeah, they gave him like GT Goten hair in
Yeah, and
Super.
I was like, okay. And then I saw this, I'm like, oh, they fixed it. Like they got it
Yeah,
right
he's
this
got Z
time.
hair.
Yeah, he's got his actual hair, so it like looks like it did when you first saw him.
Hmm.
I also
Yeah.
noticed like there was a lack of also like Yamcha was back to his like end of Z design, which was cool.
Mhm.
Um, Bulma looks older, which I'm assuming because wasn't that the running joke that like she was de-aging herself throughout Super?
Yes. So I'm guessing at this point she hasn't started doing that yet.
Ironically, the only character that actually looked kind of off from their end of Z appearance was Chi Chi, but we only saw her for like 3 seconds, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like Goku's outfit in this, where it's kind of like he has kind of like has the longer shirt that's tucked into the belt.
Yeah, it's kind of like that the outfit he has when he trains with Whis, but like
Mhm.
a little bit more like his traditional outfit.
Yeah, it's like somewhere in the middle. Um, and Goku Vegeta's little sparring match they had there was beautifully animated. That's one thing. Like the animation and art, uh, the quality is way higher because the production was much longer for this than it was. Super only had like 3 months between Resurrect like the announcement of Super and it actually starting. So there was like no pre-production for that whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
So
very interesting like that. I did like the little joke where like Trunks was they were celebrating Trunks' birthday and they made the joke about Krillin said eventually you're gonna hit your growth spurt and he's like Krillin this is like the last thing I want to hear from you, and Goku's like, oh, don't worry, you'll hit a certain age and then you'll shoot up like nothing. And then Krillin's like,
mm,
I don't know, considering your dad, you might want to be worried about that.
yeah.
Oh no, Goku says that and Vegeta's like, are you picking a fight at my son's birthday?
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
It was entertaining, but at the same time, there was a lot of points where I was just like, this is certainly a first episode.
Yeah, they definitely take their time kind of setting things up in the first few episodes. Like you won't even see them get to the demon world until episode 3. So yeah, yeah, the first episode is definitely a little bit rough to go, especially since it's a little bit longer. Because I think they kind of planned out that first episode when they still had an idea that this is going to be a web show as like a web show instead of airing on actual TV, which they ended up changing later. But I'm happy with it. We got the slightest little teaser of Stephanie Nadalny as Goku at the end.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, I'm like cool. And then I was kind of like hearing the other characters' voices. I'm like, I wonder how they're gonna do this. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm still really bummed that Krillin doesn't have a bigger role in this because I don't know. I love Kid Krillin voice. It just brings me back in a way that nobody else does.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to more of that.
Yes, the plan going forward, as long as we can stick to the schedule, we're going to be at least touching on each episode as they come out. Obviously, you'll be hearing this a few weeks later for each one, but I think that's actually a good thing because it'll give anybody who maybe didn't have time to watch it, that gives them a good couple weeks, and then by the time it comes out, everybody who wants to watch it will probably have already watched it. So
yeah. But yeah, so speaking of Dragon Ball, if you couldn't tell from the title, we're actually on covering the next arc of the Dragon Ball Super Manga.
Yes, a Tournament of Power.
And boy, if I thought that the changes in the first couple arcs were subtle, they're not subtle anymore because holy fuck, this is different.
Yeah, they really kind of go nuts with this one.
Like when I was reading this, the whole time I was going, that's different. Ooh, I like that. And then a few chapters later, I'd be like, I don't like that as much. So it was very much a mixed bag, I will say.
No, for sure. Because it kind of starts out very similar, where you kind of have Goku doing his whole like farmer Goku thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like it's point A, like the starting point and the ending point are pretty much the same. It's everything else is completely like I think literally like you had said, Toriyama kind of gave the outline to the show people and then to Togataro, and then they just completely went in their own ideas.
Yeah, it's like pretty much like the main points of Goku gets shot and gets a bruise from it, and he's like, oh, I need to train. And then he goes to Zeno and tells about the tournament, and also Kefla is a thing. Like certain like plot points happen, they just happen differently.
Poor Kale. He gets the fucking shaft in the manga.
Yeah, a lot of characters get the shaft.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. I just like Kale stuck out to me because like she doesn't even get her triumphant like overcoming her issues in this. It's just like we can't control her. Use the Potara.
Yeah.
We don't get any resolution to this, but we did a thing.
And it wasn't even like I know we're kind of skipping around here, but I love how in the anime, it was like on the sly, like, here, take these earrings. They'll come in handy during the thing. And in this one, it's just like, nah, I just swiped these from that fat guy over there.
Yeah. Also, fuck half the universes, I guess. Kale just one-shots like all of them. Like, yeah. Like what the? I was so. Yeah.
Well, you also have to keep in mind that this was also like right before the Broly movie came out, so I feel like that was an attempt to kind of hype it up.
True. Even though, like,
I think like literally the last chapter of this arc came out like literally the week before the movie came out in Japan. So it was like literally and that's why I feel like the tournament itself was so rushed, is because they were trying to finish it just in time for the Broly movie, which would be the next thing.
So. Yeah. Which we'll also get to how they touch on that in the manga because it's entertaining. But so I guess going back, so obviously all the filler got skipped in the manga. Like none of the fun filler from Super, no baseball arc, none of that fun stuff. No Gohan cheating arc.
Yeah,
cheating arc.
No Barry Khan.
Yeah, no fun filler. Which is
Mhm.
really weird to say in hindsight, but basically the tournament happens. I do like in the manga version that we don't get that dumbass like 3-on-3 fight with the universe. I forget what the one with the wolf guys. Um,
9, I think.
yeah, universe. I always thought that fight was lame
Yeah.
in the anime.
Mhm.
Also because it just makes Goku look like such an ass like the entire time.
For
Um,
real. I mean, there
it,
was a part of that I did kind of like how it's just like, oh, I'm the villain. Okay, like everybody come at me. Like,
well, because in the manga instead, like they go to the thing and instead of having that mock fight, they instead have all the gods of destruction fight, which is kind of cool.
yeah, I really like that because it actually gave the series a chance to give the gods of destruction some shine and get to see what kind of their gimmicks are. You know.
Yeah, because in the anime, they just have the four that don't actually have to compete, like fight for like 5 minutes and destroy the arena, and then they just go
Mhm.
away after that.
Yeah.
In this one, we actually get to see them all fight, and then we also get to see Goku actually properly fight Toppa,
Yeah, which was
which
pretty
was
cool.
cool. Also, I liked Toppa a lot more in the manga than I did in the anime.
Hmm. Well, yeah, because they didn't do the whole like, oh, I cast aside justice. I am the god of destruction now. Like, nah, it's went a little
Speaking
bit
of
too hard
the
on that.
speaking of the Pride Troopers, like we'll get into him deeper more later, but I love Jiren so much more in the manga than I do in the anime. In the anime, he's such a fucking asshole. In this one, he actually has a character, like
Yeah,
which
well,
is
it's still like I definitely feel like one of the weaker antagonist character. I mean, he still got more than Hit did, which I still think is criminal. But um, I do like what they did with that. They definitely made him a little bit more of
his
a person.
his entire reasoning and meaning was so much better in the manga. In the anime, his entire thing is like I hate everyone. I don't actually care. I just want to be strong.
Mhm,
In this, it's like I want to save my master because
mhm.
I
I
never got his approval,
I never got that attaboy.
pretty much. But he's also he doesn't like fully respect his teammates, but he also doesn't hate them like he did in the anime.
Yeah. Like he
Like,
still kind of has that like snooty like I'm the strongest, like I don't
which
need
he is.
you to
He
do this.
frankly is. But like when push comes to shove, like he's not gonna completely abandon them, except
Mhm.
for the one time he does. But that's the manga had to rush through that shit. Um,
Yeah. Um
but
so I did notice that they like this time going through it, like half of the arc was just preparing for it or like establishing that a tournament is going to happen with like the little prelim with all the gods of destruction and then Goku's fight with Topo and then the gathering up all the different fighters. Like that was like half the arc.
yeah, it was the first 1.5 volumes, I think.
Something
I
like that.
honestly really liked his meeting with Android 17 in the manga.
Yeah, I like how he like took the mask from the poacher guys.
And
Just
put it on
like
his head like a fucking Goku, because that's exactly what he would do. He would do.
yeah. I did think it was kind of strange. I mean, obviously this is like the obvious answer is Turam, I forgot. But I love how they make a huge deal about um how Android 17 is like, oh, I recognize your voice from when I was inside Cell. But my first thought was like, wouldn't you have recognized his voice from when he was asking for energy for the spirit bomb? Wouldn't that make more sense? Like when he actually heard it and he wasn't just inside Cell. Also, the fact that he was aware inside Cell, that's fucked. Like
That's
we
yeah,
didn't know that before.
that's new lore that we only get in the manga because they never bring that up in the anime.
Yeah, like that is fucking weird and creepy. Like I don't like that. It makes you think like, did everybody he absorbed have that experience? Because I know he absorbed them differently, but like I don't know. Well, it must not have been the case for that because then everybody would know Mr. Satan didn't actually do it.
Yes.
But still,
Tori,
I don't know. It's just weird.
remember, any question in Dragon Ball lore, you can easily wash it away by just saying, Toriyama forgot.
That's fair.
Like it's
Um,
amazing how that works for so many situations.
no kidding. But
I
yeah,
do enjoy the fact though that like Goku and 17 actually fight for a reason, not just let's just beat each other up over this island.
yeah, let's just have a match because fuck it, why not? And the whole like I still don't like the whole like, oh, I can't leave the island because I have to protect the animals and shit. It literally only takes like 2 hours max, like there and back. Like you telling me you don't go away for like a couple hours to go see your kids every now and then, like,
See,
and this
my
is to
my
prevent their death. Like,
my theory is like 18, he just couldn't be fucking bothered. Like he's like, I don't want to fucking do this.
that's fair.
Fine. Because 18 doesn't
Yeah.
either. Gonna bribe her with money, which was a lie.
Hmm.
Poor Bulma. She gets both of their bills thrown at her.
Just like, oh, fine. I guess I'll give you a few million.
We'll get to what happened with
Um,
the 17s later because it's funny too. But
mhm.
yeah, I love
I
that.
did want to touch a little bit more on the Gods of Destruction fight though, because like they had some interesting powers. Like I know like I especially one that I wanted to point out was Belmog, which actually we get a little bit more with him with his introduction in the manga.
Yeah, he's a lot more sinister in the manga.
Yeah, and he has like his powers are very like almost like Gambit, like he's like throwing playing cards and shit. Um and also like, yeah, when he's first introduced and we see him on like that random like Harley Quinn planet,
Yeah,
because that's definitely what they were going for there. Um and like, you know, he's like literally just partying with all these random like clown chicks. Excuse me. Um and like one of them like steps up to his Margarita, I think her name is, and he just like instantly just disintegrates her. He's just like, yeah, I don't talk to her like that.
yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Like I did enjoy like they had full characters, like the one from universe, the Sailor Moon universe, the Egyptian looking one. Like she's got like the
Yes.
bow and arrow thing now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that I did like that. That was cool. And also the like nine-tailed fox one, how he like shoots energy blasts out of each of his tails, like that was pretty cool. I forget, one of them did like shields. Was that the Universe 9 one?
I think so.
But yeah, there was all sorts of like interesting different oh, what was the elephant guy? He had like
Oh, Universe
a
10.
sound wave. He had like a sound wave attack that like made everybody collapse.
Hmm.
Like it was all
Yeah.
sorts of cool, interesting powers that we're probably never gonna see again.
I also like the whole like the thing with the angels where like Whis is like, oh yeah, and the one from Universe 10 is actually the oldest one. She is our
Yeah, the
elder
little
sister,
girl.
the tiny one.
Yeah, thought that was funny.
I still love even in manga form, Whis is like a one liner machine.
Oh, for sure. Also, when like, you know, like whenever a chapter ends, we get like that one little like jokey kind of picture in
Oh, I
between
love the one
chapters.
with Belmont where he's like, holy god, thank God Jiren actually said yes. I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah. But I love the one where like Vegeta, like after Vegeta was like, "Oh yeah, I need to stop training and go back home because my wife's gonna give birth soon." And then Goku's like, "Oh well, fuck you. I'm gonna go and train and get stronger than you while you're busy, being a stupid stay-at-home dad, loser." And then like
Yeah,
you
I
get
know. I was
that.
like, wow, just rub it in that Goku's an asshole. Like,
And then like the in between chapter picture was him like folding laundry as if it was training. Like,
yeah.
that was
Actually,
funny.
speaking of that, like we get the when they're trying to gather all the people, like Vegeta's like, no, it can't. Need to have baby, and Whis is
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, Bulma, come here for a minute. There you go,
He's like,
baby.
he's like, get me a blanket.
Yeah. And then my favorite is we have more Go. I swear to God, they make Goku stupider every fucking like couple of years. But
Well,
Goku's
the
like,
manga's a little bit more forgiving with it than the anime was, but yeah.
this was pretty bad though, where he's like, oh wow, that's how it's done. I didn't know that's how Chi Chi did it. And then Vegeta's like, no, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think it was like the Supreme Kai was like, I don't think that's how it's usually done.
No. And also
Which is
like,
ironic because his race is born from trees.
I know. I just love Goku's like, oh wow, which implies Goku was not present when Chi Chi had Gohan.
Oh, he blatantly says like, I don't even know when my kids were born. I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
yeah. father of the year right there.
Which is weird because he wasn't really doing much when Gohan was born.
No, he was just doing what he always did, just training.
Yeah.
He wasn't going far off though, so Chi-Chi probably just let it go.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
true.
he was dead when Goten was born, so he has an excuse for that one. But
I
love it.
Relatively, he chose to stay dead. They could have brought him back.
Well, I mean, he has an excuse. That doesn't mean he's not an asshole.
True.
I still love that though, like how dumb he is. He's like, wow, that's how she did it. And it's just like I don't know what I was more amazed by. He's that stupid, or the fact that he actually acknowledged Chi-Chi actually gave birth.
I love how Obama's just like, shit, can you do that again? I'll have a ton of kids if you could just do that every time.
Which is really funny because Chi-Chi was the one that wanted to have a ton of kids, which is ironic because she has two. And that's probably all she'll ever have.
Yeah, most likely. Well, she's not constantly wishing to be younger, so her potential supply is dwindling while Bulma's essentially staying the same.
True. I mean, canonically, Chi-Chi's like 40, right? At this point, I don't even know. I have to know this now. How old is Chi-Chi in Super? I'm gonna have to Google this because I need to know.
I would specify Tournament of Power because years do pass throughout Super.
True. The things that we have to look up to find to figure out.
I don't think it ever specifically says her age, though.
I think people have calculated it because it has been said in the past, and people have just actually done the years.
I mean, it's definitely assumed that she's definitely younger than Bulma. We know that for a fact.
She is technically. Maybe not physically anymore at this point. So during the Tournament of Power, this is Google AI, so this is probably wrong, but according to Google AI, Chi-Chi is around 46 to 47.
I mean, if we were following logic, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
it's hard to judge because Bulma says she was 38 during Battle of Gods, which is not true.
Well, I think that was the joke, was she was obviously lying, but actually, I think
because Bulma, you can calculate her age because they do say that she's 16 at the beginning.
True. Well, I think Chi-Chi was around the same age as Goku.
I think Goku's
at least like a year
Goku
older.
is 12 at the beginning, so she's 4 years older than him.
Well, apparently in Dragon Ball GT, Chi-Chi was like 51. So Dragon Ball ages don't make any sense. That's all I will say.
Well, GT doesn't make it. GT's supposed to be 10 years after the end of Z, so I don't know if that's true.
Not important. Anyways,
or is it 5 years? I don't remember. There's a lot of time skips between the different sequel series, and there's no consistency between them.
Either way, Chi-Chi she might be physically in her 40s, but she's probably by being aged by being married to Goku, she's probably like 60 at this point. Let's be real.
Yeah, that sounds about
mentally.
Right. Sounds about right.
But yeah, after that, I like how they just glaze over the whole Boo thing, where they're just like, "Oh, he fell asleep. We're not even going to show his cool training arc where he becomes skinny for a day."
And they don't even really show anything specific when he goes to recruit. They just say, "All right, I'm going to get Frieza," and then they show up and they're both beat to hell.
Yeah, it's all right, that happened. We got to see Krillin and 18 be mad for 3 seconds, and then
that didn't last long.
And then they
had to save the page space. You can't use too many panels on that.
Also, what's hilarious is I think actually I was looking through these pages. I looked through the pages again. We brought up Chi-Chi. She doesn't appear once during this entire arc.
Oh yeah, that is true, isn't it?
She gets mentioned once. That's about it. It's wow. Poor Chi-Chi getting the shaft once again.
Even Goten and Trunks get a little bit of time.
Well, yeah, because they have to go hang out on the island with Marin.
And the Cell Juniors.
Oh yeah, that was fucking random. I like the end. It's
oh yeah, he's
just
got a bunch of Cell Juniors on the island.
I like how the end to it's they're either creatures that took the form, or maybe they're the same Cell Juniors from all this time.
No, they're just the same. There's just the same cell genius. Like, there's no way
Well, yeah,
they
I
just
know.
happen to
But
be
I love how they
7
make it.
mini cells
Yeah, I just love how they make it like ambiguous. They're like, maybe.
for literally no reason.
I mean, we'll never see them again. Maybe. I don't
No,
know.
that was. I think that was just like a little joke bonus, couple pages. But like, I think it's pretty funny. Which actually, come to think of it, that brings Gohan's kill count down. So,
Hmm.
because people were saying for a long time like Gohan has a higher kill count than Goku and Z, is no longer true.
Also, we see none of Gohan's training.
Yeah, that's true. We just see a quick little blurb of Piccolo being like, "Yeah, I'm whipping him into shape." Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and then
they weren't even gonna bring him. They weren't even gonna mention it to him. And Piccolo's like, "You really think we could do this without him? Like, obviously, I'm training him, and he's coming. Like, what are you, stupid?"
yeah, I know. Goku's whole one of the rare times Goku's like he doesn't like fighting, so I'm not even gonna bother. And I'm just like, okay, Goku,
Hmm.
whatever.
The one time, right? And then, like, ironically, of all people, he's the one who ends up taking fucking Kefla down. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
single-handedly beat a Patara fusion when he only trained for like what, 2 days, less than that.
yeah. There's a lot of things about the tournament that are questionable.
Hmm.
Like how Roshi wins by doing absolutely fucking nothing the entire time.
Yeah, Roshi kills it in the manga version. Like, I actually really like the fact that like Goku kind of figured out Ultra Instinct because of Roshi.
I did like that too. The only thing I didn't like is he lost his epic like face down that he had in the anime.
Hmm.
Because like in the anime, like when he gets eliminated, he gets that really nice like compliment from Beerus, where Beerus is like, "Wow, what a warrior." And this one, he's like, "Surprised you lasted this long," and I'm just like, "Wow."
True. But I mean, Roshi did a good job, and I liked his little like pseudo Ultra Instinct. Like he gets like the same type of like principle down for it, but obviously he wasn't able to actually do it.
Hmm.
But that was
Um,
pretty cool.
so going into the actual tournament now, it's the same basic thing. The 48 minutes or whatever. Everyone fights. No flying. Fun stuff. Um, Krillin gets fucked like right in the start. Like Krillin does
Like
fuck all.
immediately.
Like
Yeah.
because Frieza gets Frost to take out those two, and then immediately betrays him because of course he does.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I like the way he tricked Frost in this, like where he's just like, okay, so we're gonna work together. You're gonna go all out and just knock out a ton of people in the first half, and then you take a break, and then I'll take over. And the second Frost is tired out, he's just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, and just knocks him out.
yeah, he basically uses him to take out what universe was it?
Was it 9?
I think it was 9 because they're the first ones eliminated, like in the anime.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think he basically just used Frost to do that, and then just said, "Yeah, I'm done with you," and just like fucking flicked him away. Um, Piccolo gets the shaft too. Like he gets like nothing to do during freaking this.
Also, in this version, also is defeated by the bug guy.
Yeah, that annoyed me. Also, like the two other Namekians who are there, they don't get any of their cool backstory. They get yeeted off screen, and then it's like
By
okay,
No, they got knocked out by Kale when she was
right?
berserker.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, like everyone got yeeted by Kale basically.
Pretty much. Like literally, I think she knocked out like 4 universes
Kale
on her
took out
own.
most of her own universe. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like way to ruin this perfectly good character.
And also there
Um,
was like that bit where like we thought we were gonna get like a Goku hit team up against Jiren, and then Goku's just like, yeah, I kind of want to fight him by myself, so go get him, buddy.
yeah, I hate that too because I love Hit as a character. Like he still is an awesome character, and
Hmm.
like he did that slowdown thing where like he slowed down Jiren, which he doesn't do that in the anime, right? I don't remember that.
I think he does, or he does like like a similar but slightly different thing.
I remember he did a lot more in the anime than he does here because he gets taken out pretty quick here.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody kind of gets taken out quick here because let's be real, the tournament doesn't last long in the manga.
No, and the way Goku learns Ultra Instinct is definitely different too because like he doesn't absorb the fucking Spirit Bomb this time.
Yeah.
Um, oh, we should talk about the Android 17-18 like swap that happened.
Don't have to remind me.
So rather than 17 getting his hilarious interrupting what's her face?
Ribrianne?
Yeah, Ribrianne during her transformation. Instead they make 18 the target of Ribrianne, which I thought was like, I'm like, okay, that's an interesting flip. And the whole gimmick is she's like just calling 18 ugly the whole time, and 18's like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Because the
And then
standard of beauty on her planet is completely different. And then
yeah,
she sees Krillin and is like, oh my god, who is that gorgeous creature over there? He is godly.
which does not happen in the anime. Which is I was just like,
I kind of love it. It's amazing.
I mean, it was funny, but then like it was a lot less interesting because 18 also gets fucking fucked over here because she also basically there's this whole thing where like they're like, I can't accept this, I quit, and they're just gonna like straight up eat themselves. And then 18's like, she's like, just fucking do it, or like I'm gonna do it for you, and then they all get yeeted by the fucking invisible guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing is I'm like, I don't hate Ribrianne as a character, but she definitely lasted way too long in the anime.
She
We
did.
kind of have the reverse here, where she
Well,
just kind of
because
instantly is out.
they had no backstory either in this. They just show up and then are immediately gone. Because in the anime, like she had to fight 17 for like half the fight because he interrupted her transformation.
Which actually reminds me, I forgot to mention at the beginning. I played a lot of Sparking Zero in the past couple weeks, which I'll be honest, like some of those missions are fucking bullshit. Like if you're trying to get the what if stuff is absolute bullshit. But I was fighting with Xander and I picked Ribrianne on my team, and one of her attacks is like the heart hand blast that she does, and I just kept doing it. That move is actually overpowered in that game. I was fucking him up with that move.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny though, because like 17 doesn't do nearly as much here as he did in the anime. Like here, he kind of just like jumps from person to person. He's like, I'm gonna just kind of help here. Oh, you're
Yeah,
okay. We're good. I'm gonna move on to something else now.
he doesn't do as much, but he definitely still earns his keep in the manga
No,
version.
he does. It was interesting because he had an entire like arc in Well, I mean, because I one of my favorites in the manga is like when he takes out the Rubber Man, and Piccolo's like, "Wait, no, you have to, you can't. Physical attacks won't do anything because of his body." And then he just like eats him off the stage, and then he's like, "Did you say something?" And Piccolo's
Yeah.
like, "No, never mind. You're fine."
It's like, oh yeah, he doesn't actually have to damage him; he just has to knock him off.
Yeah, it's really funny. Um,
Um,
oh yeah, Vegeta, I feel like he lasted longer this time, but he also just kind of fought Toppo the entire time.
for the most part,
Like there is that great scene where like Cabba's like gets flung off the stage, and then like he just kind of grabs him. He's like, "Hey, you're not gonna get thrown off by your own teammate. Do better," and then just walks away. And he
yeah,
just
right.
he's like he just walks off. He's like goes right back. He's like, "Okay, I had to do that. We can go back to our fight, Tato."
That's one thing I'm kind of bummed about is we didn't get like Kava's big like Super Saiyan 2 transformation, and I'm trying to
I
remember.
know.
Did Caulifla even turn Super Saiyan 2 in this?
No, we don't
No.
even see her learn it in this. She just does it.
That's weird.
They really didn't do a lot with the Universe 6 Saiyans. Like,
I did like her introduction in the manga when Kaba was recruiting them.
oh yeah, when they steal all that shit, and he's like, "Hey, give that back."
Yeah, and then like I like that he was the one who was like, yeah, we should totally bring her with us because she's definitely way stronger than she's letting on.
Yeah, foreshadowing, and it goes
Hmm.
badly for them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and they made the same joke with the guy from the science universe. I think that was him, right? Who was like, "Oh, I'm Doctor whatever, and I have this special power that I will explain to you," and then he keeps getting interrupted.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have the same joke here. One thing I was kind of bummed about is that when Kale was going on her rampage, the like the like mech guys from I think Universe 3.
Oh yeah, the ones that
They
all
did their yeah, they fuse into the big monster,
and then they get one shotted.
Eliza. Yeah, I actually really liked that fight in the anime, and I was really upset that
Well,
they pretty much just fused and immediately got knocked out.
why would they fuse and stand right next to the edge? Like, what were they thinking?
I don't know, but I don't know. I really liked Laza, like, and that whole fight in the anime, and I was bummed out when he just got instantly knocked out here.
Yeah, there was a lot of characters that completely just got forgotten. Um, I will say too, they made Vlados a lot less savage in this because she isn't even nearly she isn't like happy when Choppa's took a race this time. She's actually kind of upset.
I mean, they all kind of are a little bit. I think except for the Universe 9 one, because he's just like, ugh, these fucking guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know in the anime, like Vlados just fucking ditches them before they're even erased.
Yeah, she just goes and sits with Whis.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, what a savage. And this one she's a little bit nicer.
She's still sassy bitch though.
Well,
I love it.
all the angels are sassy.
True. This is true. Um, so I'm trying to think if there's anything really noteworthy else that happens, other than like the big fight with Jiren later.
Um Not really. Choppa's nicer to his people when right before they die.
This is
Which is
true, but he still
well,
makes the face of Beerus right as he's being deleted.
yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, 17 blows himself up again. That happened.
Yeah, but I love how like when he like comes back out at the end and he's just like, and Krillin's like, "Oh my god, what happened, 17? I thought
Oh,
you blew
yeah.
yourself up," and he's like, "Bro, you're the one who got rid of my bomb. It was a bluff. Like, what are you talking about?"
Krillin is pretty stupid. I actually did catch that because I noticed how nonchalant 18 was about it. In the anime, they made her sad, like when he died.
They made
Died.
everybody freak out. Like,
In this one, 18's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm just like, oh, she doesn't care. Most people almost like she knows.
yeah, right.
Also, I love how they just lose track of Frieza like during the fight at one point
Yeah. Well,
because
it's just him kind of just hiding out and like regaining his stamina, which makes total sense.
yeah, and then they're shocked when he shows up and fucking who does he take right out? I forget.
Was it Dispo? No, because Dispo went to go help Topo, and then
Oh no,
Jiren
no,
knocked them both out.
it was Piccolo was hesitating to take out somebody, and then Frieza just shows up and just goes like, "We don't have time for this. The universe is at stake." And Piccolo's
Oh,
kind of like,
what was it? The Universe 10 guy who had the family?
"I think so. Yeah, that's what it was."
Because I remember there was the whole big emotional scene in the anime where Gohan was going to beat him, and he had to lock in with his kid in it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So I guess moving on now, the Jiren fight. That's oh yeah, because Jiren like just abandons to Toppa and Rabbit guy.
Hmm.
He
One thing I
basically
did notice that I don't know if you made a note of it or not, but the tournament, obviously, since the arc was skipped earlier in the manga, this is the first time we see Golden Frieza in the manga.
right. Yeah, that's true. And they kind
And,
of allude to it like no one had seen it yet.
and I really liked the way it looked in black and white. Like I thought the art was very good for that.
He gave him some pleasant shading that actually really kind of did define how he looks in animation.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, yeah, because we didn't bring up too when Goku's fighting during fighting Toppa during that little like pre-tournament fight thing. Uh, the head angel is like, Goku, do transformations. The Zennies want to see transformations,
They want
and
to see all of your forms.
yeah, and I love it when he goes to two and they make a joke about how two looks nothing, it looks no different than one, really.
Yeah, Beerus is just like, just go to the next one. Just go to the next one.
Yeah, because they're just both like, they're like, he doesn't look any different.
Hmm.
Yeah, in three somehow it continues to be like the most useless transformation.
Yeah, which sucks. 'Cause I like 3.
It looks cool, other than the eyebrows. I still think the eyebrows are weird, but
I mean, I think it makes sense because it makes them look more like more ape-like, which,
True.
considering Saiyan biology makes total sense.
True.
Especially in the original context when you would think 3 would naturally move into 4.
I still miss 4. That's like the only thing from GT I wish they kept.
I'm still hoping that just randomly, just as a big fuck you to everybody who's trying to make the lore, make like the timeline make sense, is it just at the end of Daima, Goku just goes Super Saiyan 4 just because fuck you.
Yeah. Because it's so weird that like Super Saiyan God is just like a better 3 at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and then Blue
Well,
is just a better Super Saiyan 1.
I still feel like God is still the best Super Saiyan form as of right now. It's the most balanced and the most powerful while also being balanced.
True.
Because 3 and Blue both have the same stamina issue, even if the Tournament of Power anime tried to make it seem like it didn't.
Yeah. Well, then Blue, he just seems to have better control over everything with, because for some reason, whenever he's in 3, he's like the one-shot machine. Like he gets taken out by fucking everything.
Yeah. Oh, and Goku does Blue Kaioken in this.
Hmm. It's very
Essentially.
brief, but it happens.
Mm-hmm. And is immediately just like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work.
So, what did you think of Jiren and Goku's fight once he finally achieves Ultra Instinct?
I mean, I thought it was fine. Like I said before, I think especially because probably especially because of the Broly movie coming out so soon. I feel like Toyotaro was really rushing through this end part of the tournament. Like he really just wanted to get it out of the way and move on to new stuff. Which makes sense because up to this point he would have just been rehashing stuff that was already happened.
Yeah,
Already happened in the anime.
true.
So
I did find it very interesting though that like when so like Ultra Instinct is very kind of nerfed in the manga at this point. I'm assuming it comes back later, but
well, that's the thing is like it's kind of hard to convey the same feeling of Ultra Instinct on the page as opposed to on the screen.
yeah, like in the anime it's fucking epic. In this it's very, he just gets really good at fighting like for a few panels, and then like it goes away really quick like once he perfects it.
Yeah,
Because
he lands like 2 hits and then it instantly reverts.
well, he gets launched back and Vegeta saves him.
Mhm.
Which I thought was interesting. Vegeta actually lasted much longer this time around.
Mhm.
Like he still didn't really get any glory, but he did get to at least do stuff this time.
In fact, didn't they have more people left at the end? Am I getting that right?
I believe so, because like the Pride Troopers, like they spend like the entire, in the manga, they spend most of the thing like with everybody. Like they don't lose anybody for like most of it. And then like
Yeah.
Kale happens, and then they lose like half of their people, and then by the end it's like and then Jiren takes out the rest of their people.
Mhm.
I was like, God damn it! Like, I did love though how they ended the fight, where like all 3 of them basically just shoved Jiren off the platform,
Yeah,
and
right.
they're all like, "You idiots! What have you done?" And then all of a sudden, 17's like, "Hi, bitches, I'm here.
Yep. I'm under a rock.
I've been just hiding this whole time."
Mhm.
That was a it was an interesting way, like, because I like how the guy's like, "Ah, you're the last remaining guy. I guess you get your wish. What do you want your wish?" And he's just like, "Bring the universes back." And they're like,
Mhm.
"What?" He's like, "Bring the universes back."
So yeah, that's all
Um,
right.
it's a lot. It's actually kind of like it more than the anime, because the anime he kind of like feels out of character when he does that, and this he portrays more of his like doesn't give a fuck attitude, where he's just like, "Yeah, bring him back. I don't care."
Yeah.
And then they're flying back, and he's like, "Didn't you want your boat, 17?" He's like, and I wanted that, but then he's like, "We have like a shit ton of them. You can have one of them."
Yeah, just take one of ours. Like, God damn it.
I did like how Frieza gets brought back in the manga more, because in the anime it's like a Dragon Ball wish off screen, and it's kind of lame. Um,
No, I'm pretty sure we spooked him
oh, did he?
in the anime.
I don't remember. In this one though, it's kind of cool because they're flying back, and Whis just kind of like goes, "Okay, it's gone. You're alive again."
Whis' boops are a force to be reckoned with. He can boop a baby out of people. He can just
Yeah,
boop you back to life.
he can boop a
He
baby
can
out of.
boop and rewind time 3 minutes. His boops are all powerful.
Not only can he boop a baby out of a woman, but he can also like remove any evidence that she was ever pregnant.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
like goddamn! No wonder Bulma's so happy about it.
No shit.
Yeah, but it kind of ends there, and then we get a very brief. Well, they glaze over that Brawley happened. They're like, "Oh yeah, watch the movie if you want to know what happened here."
Yeah, we got a 2-page spread.
Yeah, and then they give us a brief sneak peek at the next arc, where the Space Patrol kidnaps Boo.
Yes,
and Goku and Vegeta.
I'm very, very much looking forward to covering that arc when we get there, because that was the first time where I feel like Toyotaro really got to kind of stretch his drawing hands out and
storytelling to a degree.
Yeah. So that'll be fun when we get there.
Because it's all new stuff going here on forward. Excuse me. Well, aside from
we rehash superhero.
Yeah.
But at least in that, like, we get like a few chapters before and a few chapters after as like bookends to the arc or movie or whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of cool. And there are like some slight tweaks. Not honestly, ironically, the superhero arc is way more similar to the movie than any of the other rehashed arcs that we've covered so far.
Probably because he had a more defined script from Toriyama than he did for the anime. Because it seems like the anime, Toriyama kind of made a basic idea and then was like, just make it work.
But yeah, I mean, overall, there was some things to like and some things that I didn't really like.
There were a lot of things. Go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I just feel like I wish Toyotaro had put more time into it. Like, I feel like he was really trying to get through it just to get on to like new stuff, and the arc definitely suffered because of that.
It's weird how the Tournament of Power is kind of flawed in both mediums. Like, and there's really no perfect way to experience it.
Yeah, because a lot of people complain that the Tournament of Power in the anime was really like long and drawn out, but in the manga it's so fucking quick that like I literally read it in like a day.
So when I was I actually read like pretty much all of it last night. Like, that's how quick a read Dragon Ball Super is. But what's crazy is like reading it, I wasn't that mad until we got to Kale. The Kale stuff pissed me off because I was like, at first I was just kind of annoyed that they were basically getting rid of all of her character development, but then she fucking one-shots everybody, and I'm like, oh, great. So none of that's gonna happen now.
We didn't really talk much about the fight with Gohan or anything, but I mean, it's literally just okay. They fought, and then the fight ended, and
Gohan just kind of suicides her basically off the edge. He's just like,
well, he pretty much did the same thing with Dispo in the anime, but in this case, like, I feel like Kefla is stronger. Like taking, like, at least fighting Kefla to a draw, and they really did, like, when they were like just straight up fighting each other, like they were both in a rough shape towards the end. So they were evenly matched throughout.
I'll give one explanation. In the anime, Kefla was a fusion of a much more developed Kefla, which makes sense, and then Kale, who had perfected her transformation and was fully sane by that point. In the manga, they just fuse because they can't control Kale, and basically, it's neither of them are really fully realized by that point. So I feel like it does make sense. She'd be weaker in the manga because in the anime she got way more development.
Yeah, because that makes sense, because between Kale's perfected like
legendary Super Saiyan, whatever they want to call it.
I think it's Super Saiyan Berserker. I think that's what it's called. And then in the anime, Caulifla also had unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and neither of those things happened in the manga. So I guess Kefla would be weaker than she was in the anime, but it's still fucking outrageously impressive that Gohan was able to go toe to toe.
True. I mean, Gokhan is
I mean,
supposed.
fighting any fused Super Saiyan is going to be a fucking serious challenge. So, and they're
Yeah,
both pretty strong.
yeah. I just think that was lazy writing on Togataro's part.
Yeah, I think he
um,
just wanted to see Gohan do something cool.
yeah. And to be fair, we won't really see Gohan do anything cool until Superhero, anyways. But well,
We'll put a pin.
besides
Put a pin in that.
besides manga stuff, I'm sure happens that I don't know about yet.
Mhm.
In terms of the anime, though, we won't see him do anything cool until Superhero.
Yeah.
Also, he has his Piccolo outfit on at this point.
Which makes way more sense.
Yeah, than him just having the orange gi like
But
everyone.
I feel like in the anime they did that just because of like that was like his iconic like Ultimate Gohan look from the Buu Saga. But it makes
True.
way more sense in context from that because he only had the orange gi then because in his mind, like when he was going to fight Buu, it was like, okay, I want to honor my dad. He's dead for good. So I'm going to go and save the day in my dad's outfit this time. But like literally in every single other fight up to that point, he was wearing even in the Buu Saga, like up until that point, he was wearing the purple.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any sense for him to just be like, all right, I'm just gonna wear my dad's outfit from now on. And that's just like no, he had no reason to do that.
My only theory and solution, my only theory on that and why they did that is kind of lame, but it's
Marketing.
marketing and lazy animation.
Hmm.
They probably already.
I think it was mostly marketing. It was just because this is his strongest form is Ultimate Gohan, and this is the outfit he wore when he was at his peak in the Buu Saga. So that's what we're just gonna go with.
True.
Which is kind of dumb because they want to sell toys and shit. So you'd think they'd have more outfits consistently, you know? But
True. I think though, because Super is infamous for its kind of lazy animation, they probably already had that model like already drawn and ready, and they were just like, "Yeah, just reuse it.
that's fair.
Just give him his little hair thingy that is selectively there, depending on
Yeah,
when the
give him the bang.
yeah." It's sometime like isn't the bang kind of how they signify he's like Ultimate Gohan or whatever?
That's generally. I mean, he had it like before he had Ultimate Form, like sometimes.
Yeah, and then it disappears after that, and
Like
then
I
it
think he
comes
had it
back.
when he was in high school.
He did, but then like it disappeared, and then it came back, and then it just kind of became the Ultimate Gohan thing.
And now he has the bang in beast form, only it's way bigger.
Well, Beast form is just extra as fuck for no reason.
Well, beast form is just the look he had when he was Super Saiyan 2 against Cell, but way bigger.
True, very
It's,
true.
it's literally the same hairstyle, just bigger.
Also, I just realized like Videl doesn't appear at all during this arc either.
Well, I mean, Videl barely appeared at all past the Buu Saga anyway, so
True, although
kind of a
she's
moot point.
they didn't even acknowledge his family barely gets acknowledged during this fight. Like he's really not that upset that he's fighting to save anybody. Gohan's really out of character now that I think about it throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
Like his only
It's
in character moment is right at the start where he's like, "Guys, stay together," and then they all immediately leave, and he's like, "Fuck you guys."
well, that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks about Gohan is like they never know what to do with him. It wasn't until like Superhero that I feel like they really kind of got an idea of what they wanted to do with him. And
Him and Piccolo, like they finally
now
did
who
something.
knows?
Yeah,
So
that's why Superhero is such a great film because they ignore Vegeta and Goku for most of it just for the sake of telling a story with different characters.
yes, which I mean, really, Dragon Ball should have been doing all along, but you know,
Hey,
he can't be absolutely perfect.
at least Fidel appears in Superhero. Chi Chi does not. Chi Chi doesn't even get
Yeah.
mentioned by name. She only gets referred to as your mother at one point.
Yeah, right. I do love like the way that Piccolo gets Gohan's attention every time as he just scratches the window pane with his fucking witch
Yeah.
nail.
Yeah. That being said though, I did like the Tournament of Power arc. It wasn't perfect, but I liked where it went. Also, I loved like Bulma being pissy at Vegeta at the end because she's like, "Well, now I have to give away a fucking cruise liner that we have."
It's like, well, you already promised 20 million Zenny at least. So, I mean, it's not that much more.
the pout she gives him is adorable after he says that, where it's like, oh, Vegeta's in trouble.
But yeah, I think all told, I still prefer the anime version, even though the anime version has a lot of flaws too. I just
True.
feel like it at least gives the characters like a lot more individual moments, which makes the story make a lot less sense. I mean, at least with the manga version, the kind of rushed nature of it kind of makes a little bit more sense with the 48-minute time limit.
True.
But at the same time, like I liked having the different character developments and
Oh,
giving everybody a chance to shine.
I forgot about one thing because like it happens very brief, blink and miss it. But did you catch like Beerus's like when Ribrianne's doing her thing, he goes, "She's kind of cute."
Oh yeah.
Like this goes against
Yeah.
your type. This goes against your type, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and we
Um,
couldn't even see what her hair looked like because we know he likes the bob. He likes the bob cut.
he likes Bulma. Like that's his like
What he
style.
likes? What's the term? Tsundere?
Tsunderes with bob cuts and big boobs. That's
Yes,
his.
that's his type.
That's Beerus's type.
Mhm.
Um. Oh, also like we got that. It doesn't happen in the anime, but in the manga, we get that really wholesome scene after Bulla's born, where Vegeta's like a daughter, and he's all like wholesome dad for like
He's
5 minutes
"Ooh,
in
a
the back.
girl."
It's in the background too, because in the anime he gets the shaft when like he wants to give her like a Saiyan name, and
He's
Bulma
like,
just
yes, a
says,
traditional Saiyan name.
and Bulma just like is like, nah, fuck off. In this one though, he's like, you actually see him be like dad in the background for a little bit, which is kind of cute.
For sure.
It's weird that Vegeta is like one of the better dads in the Dragon Ball universe post like end of Z.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, we didn't really mention it, but I liked Goten and Trunks in 17's outfit. That was really cool.
Oh yeah,
Also, they
that was
brought
cute.
Marin for some reason.
Well, she was there in the original too.
Was she?
Yeah.
I thought she was with Bulma.
Well, no, because you remember she when they drop the kids off, she's on the island with 18 because that's where that whole like 18 being like when 17 says Marin's name wrong and 18 gets really mad. That's why she's there.
Gotcha.
I also loved when he went to Krillin's house and like 18 changed the channel and Marin's like, I was watching that. I like how sassy she is. It's kind of cute. Um, Also, I'm not gonna lie, some of the manga covers are fucking lies.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
the one with Goku in like 17's outfit, I'm like, okay, that's just a cute cover, but that it doesn't happen. But I'll let that one pass.
Well,
The one with the
I mean, to
Ferris
be
wheel
fair,
pissed me off.
the covers have always just kind of been like, yeah, I feel like that's just a thing with manga in general for a lot of stuff. Like a lot of times the covers just tend to be like fun art that people just wanted to do. I
True,
mean, think about how many times Toriyama did covers of like Goku like driving cars and shit. Like he just
true.
likes drawing cars, so he drew cars in the covers.
I was gonna say though, like the one that pissed me off was like, so the first like two volumes from this set, they make sense. They're related to the tournament. I mean, Goku in the 17 outfit, that's fine. That I can let that one go. Then the last one is like the fight against Jiren. I'm like, this makes sense. The one in the middle is them on a Ferris wheel. That doesn't happen anywhere in this section, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, why?
Well, get used to those kinds of covers.
I know. It just I was like, what? I'm like, because I was like, I'm like, I picked out the manga. I'm like, oh, is this the last one in the set for this? And I was like, no, it's not because Jiren's on the next one. I was like, okay, they go to a carnival at some point in the middle of this. No,
It's all right. We're taking a break. We're doing stopping at the halfway point of the tournament. We're gonna set up this little carnival because Zeno's like amusement parks, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time.
it's
Just
something
hope the
Goku.
Beerus doesn't fall asleep during fucking like laser tag or something.
The sad part is it's something Goku would do.
Oh, we
That's
didn't even mention that the reason that everybody like hates all the gods of destruction hate Beerus because he fell asleep in the middle of a hide and seek party.
yeah.
And it really pissed Zeno off. And
Oh, that was
also
another
he's
thing.
like canonically one of if not the strongest gods of destruction because they were
But
all teaming up on him and he was still kicking
yeah,
their asses.
but he's such a lazy fuck that like that's kind of why he's not as noticed.
Mhm. Because I think
Also,
originally they were talking about like the Gods of Destruction being part of the teams, and then like when they had the little exhibition match, the Zenos were like, "Yeah, we can't keep up. This isn't fun."
well, yeah, because they were like, all right, you guys are too destructive. You're gonna sit this out.
Also, like the like timing of Goku showing up when like the Zenos are just like, "Hey, we're just gonna destroy all but these four universes," and then Goku shows up like, "Hey, we're gonna do a tournament." It's like, "Oh, okay. I guess we'll leave one extra."
Well, it's funny too, because like the Zenos are like they'll have like their weird like sadistic moments, and then Goku shows up. And they're like, oh, we like this one. Let's keep this one.
Mm-hmm. It's too
Um,
funny.
it's funny too because Goku can like be like the most rude like asshole to them, and they're like, "You're great," and everyone else is panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did also like too when the tournament's going on, like all of the Pride Troopers are just fighting Goku the entire time.
Yep. Because he just keeps trying to like plow straight towards Jiren, and they're just like, "No, no, not happening."
Yeah, uh, it's fun. It's I'm looking forward to moving into the original stuff. It's going to probably be a bit before we get to that because we got to go through our cycle again. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm liking the Super Manga so far. Togataro's art has gotten very good. Like it gets better and better each volume.
Yeah, you're gonna see another big jump in the next arc. I feel like the next arc is where he really kind of comes into his own,
Hmm.
um, with the different designs and stuff like that. He does good in the next one.
Hmm.
And I am also looking forward to Duelist Kingdom for our next manga run.
Hmm. That will be interesting. Um, but yeah, I think that's about it for this one.
Alrighty.
We have an idea for next week. We're gonna keep it under wraps though for now, and we'll get to that later. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the. This isn't GNC. This is Geek Addicts. I have too many podcasts. It's an awesome show you can find on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. Also, be sure to check us out on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site, a whole bunch of different podcasts, videos, blogs, all sorts of fun stuff. And a whole bunch of related shows there, like Superpod Saga, Super Ghost Radio, Tour Rehab, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, and Novel Console, Bar Silence, Fine Time, the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast, Remember 64, Gaming Together, Friday Night Gamecast, Gaming and Collecting, the 3DO Experience, Geek Addicts, the Retro Wildlands, Press B to Cancel, the Pre-Order Bonus Podcast, and the Retro Mo Reviews Show. I'm sorry, Mo, if I got that wrong. I think that's what it's called. Gotta wait for the scroll. Yeah, Retro Mo Video Game Reviews. And with that,
Too many
everybody-
shows. The scroll takes too long.
Yeah. Well, we keep adding new ones, and I'm always like, what's our new show called again? And I'm like, oh, right, it's at the end. I have to wait for it to get there.
You got to take Retro Rehab off of there because it's a dead show anyway.
I'll leave all of them on there regardless.
Fair enough.
Because the show's still viewable, anyways.
Yeah, it's just getting absorbed into Superpod, though.
True. I mean,
In fact, by the time this comes out, I think all those episodes will already be on that feed. So
true, which is hilarious because they're also on the Super Ghost feed, I believe.
are they? That's funny.
Yeah, because they started there. Also, Tommy has ended his podcast, but we still want to shout it out because it is a good show. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you all later.
Have a good one.